Ever felt left out of the crypto craze? Not anymore. Welcome to Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where community meets opportunity. Our clubs are popping up nationwide, from Sarasota to Nashville, Boston to St. Louis. Join us and unlock a world of benefits. Access all clubs worldwide, earn through referrals, and dive into specialized crypto education. Need help buying crypto? We've got you covered, often with reduced fees. But wait, there's more. Enjoy perks like Bitcoin ATMs, silver purchases, and exclusive investment opportunities. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer podcast rooms, event spaces, and co-working areas. Stay informed with FGTV, our exclusive crypto news and education channel. Choose your membership, from day passes to individual or company plans. Individual members get access for themselves plus 2 guests, perfect for bringing friends or family. Companies can bring up to 15 employees or guests, fostering team growth and networking. Connect, learn, and grow with like-minded crypto enthusiasts. Ready to join the revolution? Visit BitcoinBenCryptoClub.com or call 562-526-0813 today. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, your gateway to crypto success.
Was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, fools and kings' face, he said to me, love and mercy, that's what we need tonight. Love and mercy to you and your friends tonight. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, there's so much we cannot see. Who knows? I felt it from the first embrace I shared with you. A rush, a touch, a dance, a glance. Look in somebody's eyes, light up the skies. Wander the world and watch it really. That voice that says you'll be here and I'll be alright. I don't care if I know just how it will go, 'cause all that I need is this crazy feeling, that rat-tat-tat on my heart. I think I want it to stay. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
Thank you. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, team. Well, welcome, everyone. This is Women's Voices. I am Clara Bose, and we are so excited to be live at 5 today on Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Network. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sherpa. Hi, Jay Bose. Hi, Zoltan. All the big guys are here today, except, of course, Bitcoin Ben. We love you, Bitcoin Ben. But today I want to do a special tribute to Brian Wilson. If you follow me online on any of my social media, you will know that this week was a heartbreaker for me. And there aren't very many people in the world that I wouldn't say that I idolize anybody. I don't really have very many heroes, especially alive today. I do visit with Mozart in the spirit realm, and I do visit with people in the spirit world, but I'm just kind of on my own path, but Brian Wilson has been a great influence on my life, and I'm going to share some of that story today about our lives and how they've paralleled in very interesting ways with mental health and the difficulties of basically being in this world. And when I was young, my dad told me that there was a battle for each of our souls. And that sounded really intense. And it usually came up when it was like I wanted to go to a movie or I wanted to listen to some kind of music that he was telling me I shouldn't listen to. And it was just, as for me as a young person and as a teenager, it was like, oh, for heaven's sake, a battle for your soul. This is ridiculous. But of course, the older that I got, the more I've realized that that is so true. And each of us is so precious. And we really are in a game of light and dark right now here. Each and every one of us is being attacked. Many people talk about politics nowadays, and they say this is a spiritual battle. And especially the more you go down the rabbit hole about the very, very evil things that are happening in politics and media, in the powers that be, you become more and more absolutely 100% sure that only, demonic forces could be running this kind of a show. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that because as I was watching a documentary about Brian Wilson this week, just thinking about him and reflecting on his influence in my life, one of the things that he says is that the devils were after him. And he talks about a lot the difficulties from his attacks of voices that he was hearing in his head and messages that he was receiving spiritually, that he was worthless and, shouldn't live, and very, very scary kinds of dark thoughts that he had to fight up against. And I wanted to talk about that today because you know how much I am a champion of children and how much I'm a champion of living purity and living holistically and healthy. And I wanted to sort of compare and contrast a little bit of my life with Brian Wilson's, and from my personal experience, just talk a little bit about, how if you go and you read about him, you'll see many articles which say, that he is a musical genius and that he battled schizophrenia all of his life. And if you watch the documentaries and everything, you'll see that he had a lot of drugs and alcohol problems and overeating issues. He spent about a decade in bed just overeating. He talks about, doing acid, smoking weed, cocaine, you name it, he tried it. And I find it interesting that it's just automatically diagnosed that he was schizophrenic, because those drugs, psychedelic drugs, can take you down all kinds of terrifying rabbit holes. And it doesn't mean that you were born with a problem. And I do believe he is a musical genius. That's why he's one of my heroes. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the dangers of just basically writing yourself off as having a mental illness, because the things that we consume and even the little basic medicines that we take can affect us so much. Last year, many of you know my story. I gave up drugs and alcohol over a decade ago. I try to live very, very clean. But I got a cold and I took some NyQuil before bed, just a very small dose of it. And I literally, the next day was just, it felt like I was in a deep depression. And I knew I will never take that stuff again. And this is just an over-the-counter product. I took something which was for a urinary tract infection. Immediately went into like a state of ketosis. I had nightmares. I had all kinds of, reactions to that. And this is just over-the-counter for a urinary tract infection. And much less things that are given to you if you go in and say that you have feelings of depression or feelings of being under the influence of voices in your head or something like that. Wow, the kinds of things that they would just automatically go to and just diagnosing you in literally one session. And, maybe you're smoking weed, maybe you're trying some different kinds of drugs, and you should immediately eliminate those from your diet and go naturally first before you just go down this path of trying these very, very intense drugs that they just start to put you on. So in my life, back when I was 18 years old, I had just turned 18 and I got married right away. So my first relationship was with a guy, and I went through all of this discovery about mental health with a man who would compare me to Brian Wilson. And he would say, oh, you're just like Brian Wilson, because if I would smoke weed, and then I was like having like a terrible, terrible hallucination from it, you'd be like, oh, that's just because you're just like Brian Wilson. You should probably, get on some medication for that. You must be schizophrenic like Brian Wilson. And sure enough, nobody just said, oh, well, maybe you should stop smoking weed or you shouldn't drink alcohol or things like that. They just immediately started putting me on huge cocktails. At one point, I think I was taking like 7 different depressants and psychosis, all these kinds of things. And I very well could have been like Brian Wilson, just believing that about myself. But fortunately, I had a friend who saw this cocktail of drugs that I had, and she said, what are you taking all that stuff for? And I said, oh, I've got problems. I'm schizophrenic and everything. She said, are you kidding? And this was a lifelong friend. She said, I've known you since the 7th grade. Like, you are not. What are you talking about? And it kind of planted a seed of doubt, and all of these things that I had been told by the respected doctors. And I'm not trying to badmouth doctors, but I am trying to stand up for you all as an individual. And I just want to share my story that, when you give your power over to someone else and you just assume that they're the expert, they know everything about it, and then you just accept whatever is being told about you, that can really send you down a very, very dangerous and unhealthy path. And I don't like to talk about it. It's not a part of my life that I'm proud of, but it's something that I really felt God had on my heart that I needed to share with you guys. Maybe there's even just one person, maybe one of you has a child who's experimenting with drugs and they think it's really harmless. I just want to let you guys know that these things can be way more dangerous than what people talk about, whether it's over the counter, whether it's legal, or whether it's not. All of these have been very harmful in my life, and as well as Brian Wilson. And it's a great loss to think of all of the years that he lost. And maybe if he could have just, cleaned up his diet and his medications and drugs, that could have been a much different story for him. But I want to play another song by Brian Wilson, and then we'll take an ad break. So this is one of his absolute classics, and I just want to sing this for Brian Wilson. This is God Only Knows.
You are wonderful. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you'll never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, the life would still go on. Believe me, the world would show nothing to me. So why good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. 911, Brian Wilson.
We're going to go for a quick ad break. You guys will be right back. God bless you.
Want to connect with the world? Ready to be heard by millions? Have a talent you are ready to share or want to elevate your business to the next level? Step into the spotlight. Welcome to our all-new podcast studio at Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club, Sarasota. Introducing a cutting-edge creative space built for everyone, from first-timers to seasoned pros. Outfitted with state-of-the-art cameras, broadcast-quality microphones, professional mixers, and premium acoustic treatment, this is where your voice isn't just heard, it's felt. Whether you're recording a podcast, live streaming, or creating high-impact video content, our studio delivers next-level production value. Lights on, mic hot, let's go.
Well, welcome back, everyone, for the second half of Women's Voices today. I am Clara Bose. We are talking about Brian Wilson, mental health, the battle for each and every one of our souls. And I know it's a pretty deep dive we're going into today, but he was a deep guy, and his music is very incredible. If I want to just give you a little rabbit hole to go down, you guys would be amazed if you go and check out the song Surf's Up, okay? And go and look up this song and also look up the lyrics. And if you ask ChatGPT to help you find Brian Wilson's commentary on what the song is about, it will really blow you away, because this is a rabbit hole in and of itself. And I would say that it's actually prophetic what he and his lyricist were coming up with this song. It's absolutely incredible. The parallels between what's going on right now in our world and the unveiling that the song talks about, of how there's sort of a show going on and the curtain is being lifted and people are finding out what is the real truth. And it's actually so sad that some people, it just sends them into a place of shock where they can't even really, hear about it, because it's so sad. And so you know that I'm committed to talking about child trafficking. I'm committed to talking about true stories. The Dark Side of Disney was one of my recent shows that I did. I really want to help everyone through the lifting of this veil, because I know in my own journey, it was a major shocker. And I'm glad I wasn't going through like my mental health issues when I found out about these things. It probably would have really sent me over the edge. Fortunately, by the time I learned about these things, I was healthy, and of course, it was still incredibly depressing to find out about what's happening to children in our world, and especially here in the United States, where we thought we were free, and then we are finding out that that's not true. But here in the Bitcoin community, at least we have proactive people who are taking matters into their own hands and working for true freedom, for truth, for integrity. One of my new phrases that I use for myself and for all of the patriots is that we want celebrity integrity. It's a nice little rhyme. And I feel like we've all been a bit disillusioned with the narratives that we've gotten from our celebrities in the past. And we want to create celebrities with integrity from here on out. And people who are actually, honoring the truth and doing their best to live in the light. And it was a struggle for Brian Wilson. The devils were definitely after him. He was truly a light. Music can bring so much joy. And his music from his surfing days, you can go back and listen to. One of my favorites is I Get Around. Their Christmas album is absolutely incredible. So many fun songs on their Christmas album, the Beach Boys. And then, of course, Pet Sounds, Smile, That Lucky Old Sun. These are all albums that I have loved. I have studied as a musician, and they've meant a lot to me. And they've opened up worlds inside of musical realms that I hadn't thought of before. The different kinds of patterns that he would use, the different things that he would think of musically were really outside the box, especially as far as pop music was going. And he blew the minds of people like Paul McCartney. And there were a lot of rivalries between the Beach Boys and the Beatles. And Brian Wilson is so cute, talking about how he would have prayer sessions before he would be working on Pet Sounds, and he was asking God for guidance with that album. He was asking it to be an album that would be meaningful to people, and he was also asking for something that would be even better than Rubber Soul, which is so cute. He said it was a nice combination of ego and true prayer from the heart. So I love Brian Wilson's honesty, and I love the music that he made. So inventive. He was, he's very special to me. So the last song that I'm going to do for you guys is a new arrangement I just came up with. One of my Facebook friends and followers asked if I would do as a tribute to Brian Wilson in my room. And I had never actually played it before, but I came up with a really pretty arrangement, I hope, for you guys of In My Room. And then we'll finish out the show with this. But all my love, I hope you guys have enjoyed this deep dive into Brian Wilson and into mental health. And I hope that it can help somebody today. I love you guys.
There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to in my room. In my in this world, I knock out all my worries and my fears in my room. In my room, do my dreaming and my scheming lie awake and pray. Do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday.
Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. All my love to each and every one of you. I am off to El Salvador tomorrow to go to the dentist. And I'll tell you all about it next week. I can't wait to see the resort over there that Jay Bose is going to show me around. And it's my first time going to El Salvador, so I'm very excited. And anyway, I'll give you the update on that next week. All my love, you guys. If you want to follow me on social media, Clara Bose or Clara Bose Music on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So see you there. Okay, bye.
Hey, Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club members, are you ready to take your crypto game to the next level? Well, buckle up because we've got something huge for you. As a member of the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you're already part of the future of finance. But what if you could stack even more Bitcoin without waiting? That's right. We're talking about exclusive loans designed just for you. Through the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, you can apply for a fast member-only loan. Use the cash to buy Bitcoin right now while the market's hot, and watch your stack grow as the revolution unfolds. It's simple. Call us, get approved, and turn that loan into Bitcoin. Pay it back on your terms while you HODL like a pro. Why wait for the moon when you can fuel the rocket yourself? This isn't just a loan, it's your ticket to owning more of the future. And because you're part of our tight-knit community, you get VIP access to rates and support outsiders can only dream of. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone and call or text 941-413-6920 to apply now and start stacking SATs today. The Bitcoin revolution waits for no one, especially not you. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where members don't just HODL, we build. See you on the blockchain.